Hey y'all, welcome back to the Project Lady. I'm so thankful you're here watching. In today's video, I'm really excited and we're going to be working on a DIY furniture redo project. I'm going to be redoing and painting our craft desk and turn it into my new Project Lady desk. I got this desk at an estate sale about 10 years ago and it's pretty rough. It has paint and resin, it's got hot glue, and even some damage on the top. So I'm actually pretty impressed with myself about how it turns out. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape the top and get all of the resin and glue and just raised spots off so it's easier for me to make some repairs. And it's really hard to see on video because it's mostly clear stuff like glue and resin, but it made a really big mess. And there's also some glitter and what I assume to be the residue from some slime making. All of the big pieces scraped off and the top is kind of smooth. I'm going to use my Shark cordless vac to just clean up a little bit of the mess. I mostly do this just so I can kind of see what I'm working with because I'm going to make a huge mess again here in a minute and I'll have to get this vacuum cleaner back out, but it just helps me step by step to see what's left to do. This desk for many things over the years, but one of the uses at one point in time was in my husband's office, and it was back when we had an old school desktop computer that had the tower. So I cut open this door here for the back of the computer, and I could repair it. I could get a piece of wood or even a piece of cardboard and put it back there, but I'm gonna put some like plastic organizer drawers in here for some supplies, so I didn't worry about it this time. So while I was at home working on this desk, no judging the outfit, but we were stuck inside. There was a snow and ice storm here in Texas. So I had to do everything indoors, and that included the sanding. Because normally I would take this out in the garage, I would get my palm sander, and I would do it out there where I could just make a huge mess and it wouldn't matter. So I was having to be more careful with my mess. So that's why I'm doing everything by hand this time.
The smoke is getting close to my bed. I cannot make a sound. Empty lungs, sleeping but awake, paralyzed. So cover me, 'cause I'ma lift you out, I'ma lift you in. You're my enemy. If you will let me go, I will let you in. Drinking from every turned down line, thinking you never feel my fright. Got your remedy, 'cause I'ma let you out, I'ma let you in. Oh. Fading in, fading out. My scars are all blood.
So I'm done sanding, and I'm just going to go over it again with my Shark vac to get the dust cleaned up, and you can even see, here in a second, I vacuumed my shirt to get some of the dust off. And then after I do this, I wanted to go ahead and clean it again to kind of start getting some of the grime off so I could see where it needed repaired. I'm going to use my Jaws all-purpose cleaner, and if you've never heard of the Jaws cleaner, they're my new favorite. that stands for the Just Add Water system. And what it is you purchase the kit, and it comes with all of the bottles and then the pods. And the pods just go in, you put the straw through, screw on the lid, and then the cleaner releases down into the water, and then you have your cleaner. So when you buy it, you're not paying for them to ship you water. So it's very economical, it's very environmental, and I just really love it. So if you're interested in it, please click the link below and use the code TheProjectLady for 20% off.
I'ma let you in. You're my enemy. If you would let me go, I would let you in. So cover me, 'cause I'ma let you out, I'ma let you in.
Now that my husband helped me put the desk up on some pavers and some paper, I'm ready to start doing some repairs and then get to painting. So I'm going to use this Minwax wood filler in gray, and then this Krylon Chalky Finish paint tinted in black. And it's my new go-to favorite paint. I love the finish. It's easy. You don't have to use a primer. It's like chalk paint and primer all in one. And then you'll see here in a minute, but once I finish with the wood filler, I actually use my Pampered Chef scraper to smooth out the stuff because, like I mentioned, it was cold and icy, and I didn't want to go outside to the shop to get the actual scraper. So that's what I'm using here.
I should leave this to give. Your body's calling me for real. My love's like an enemy. Stay awake till the morning. I hate when you leave me. I hate when I'm lonely. Yeah, 'cause you must trust me. I can never do you wrong. I take a bullet for you. If I lose you, I would not know what to do. I'm falling for you hopelessly. Hold on, I think I'm losing it. Come on, I'm telling you, I think we should slow it.
Once I got the damages repaired and I let it dry for about an hour, I went back with the sander and smoothed out the top. I ended up having to do that process twice. I just didn't repeat the video. So I sanded it, vacuumed it, wiped it down with a wet cloth, and then went back with a little bit more filler in a couple spots and then sanded it again. And then you'll see that I go in with some cleaner. It was actually a vinegar water solution, and I wiped the entire desk down.
Trust me, I can never do you wrong. I take a bullet for you. If I lose you, I would not know what to do. I'm falling for you hopelessly. Remember the things that you told me? They got me moving forward. And all the times that we disagreed just cut my respect deeper. I'm feeling that we are something really special when I look back on us. It's starting to sink in. Don't want it to be misunderstood. Rolling in the deep. Don't want to break this. 'Cause you must trust me. I can never do you wrong. I take a bullet for you. If I lose you, I would not know what to do. So baby, won't you trust me? 'Cause you must trust me.
So this is a couple of hours later, and I've got my painting shirt on, and this is actually my favorite part of a furniture project, is when you do that first brush stroke of paint. My method is usually the same anytime I'm doing a piece of furniture. I start with a brush, and I like to trim all of the edges first and all of the insets of the doors or any kind of trim, and then I'll go back with a roller for the flat surfaces. I use just like a little 6-inch roller, foam roller, roll out the flat surfaces. And I'm pretty minimalist when it comes to supplies, and I actually just dip my brush straight into the to the can. I don't even get a bucket or anything. And then in a second, when I start using the roller, I actually pour the paint on the flat surfaces of the desk, just kind of use it as my paint pan. and then go around on all the flat surfaces.
I'm sick of love songs, I'm tired of this, and I wanna tell you straight just like it is. You're watching me like you want me, but you're still holding back, still holding back. Honestly, you're annoying me with the way that you keep playing. Show me your love like it is, like it is. Bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless. I'm out of patience, I'm out of feels, but I guess I'm waiting around for something real. I'm going crazy, like what's the deal? 'Cause I want you to show me what you feel. You're watching me like you want me, but you're still holding back, still holding back. Honestly, you're annoying me.
I do want to add, when it comes to stuff like this and me doing things the way I do it, I am absolutely not a professional. I am just a mom, wife, DIYer. So I do what is easiest and what is the most cost-effective and time-saving thing that I can possibly do. I started doing it this way because whenever you pour paint into a paint pan and you roll the paint on your roller, then you waste so much paint left in that paint pan. So it always bothered me that I was wasting paint. So I just started doing it this way years ago, and I've just done it ever since.
Like it is, like it is. Bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless.
So this is the next day, and I always start off by cleaning. I vacuum, dust around the area. We have 2 dogs, which you can see one poking his head through the door there. So dog hair is a problem. So I try to minimize it as much as possible to keep it out of the finished product. It's just an issue that I constantly fight. So I start by cleaning and then do the second coat. And while the second coat was drying, I actually started working on these shelves. I originally was going to paint them black, but I was at the Dollar Tree and I saw this really cute shelf liner. And so I had an idea, and what I did was I took this shelf liner and I basically just wrapped the shelves kind of like a present, and I used some painter's tape to tape it on just so that it would hold well. And my original thought was just temporarily to use the painter's tape and then go back with some kind of prettier tape. But I ended up just leaving it because you can't even see it. It's on the bottom and the back, and once the shelves are in the piece of furniture, you're never going to see the tape. So it's still there. Where I'm sitting here is my computer desk, and I have it pushed kind of weird in my office, and it's pushed up in the corner up against the closet and the bookshelf. So where my tape was is behind this desk, and I didn't want to mess up my camera and my view, so you'll see me crawl under my desk to go get the tape, and then I have to do it again to get the glue gun here in a minute. I just thought that was funny.
When I call her up to say I'm in town, I get a notion that we both walk the same ground. Been traveling all over, searching far and away for a sign to lead me straight. We walk together down the streets of our home. It's been forever, a long time that I've been gone. The feelings come easy as we start a new day, and I know
shelf liner so much and I did not love this lampshade, I decided to just carry the shelf liner over to this lampshade. So I pulled all this trim off, cut some of the strings off, and used the lampshade and rolled it on the shelf liner before I took the sticky paper off. And what you don't see off camera is I had to do this twice. I messed up a whole roll of shelf paper because I just ripped off the backing and went to stick it on, and it was the total wrong length, the total wrong angle. So make sure you measure twice and cut once. Another little tip or a word of advice is whenever you do this with any kind of material like shelf liner or fabric, don't use something that has lines or like plaid in it, because the way you have to twist the lampshade onto it, if it's a repeating pattern and it matters if it's straight or not, it's going to look really terrible. So that's why this pattern works, is because it's very random and floral, so it doesn't matter if it's technically straight or not. While I was working on this project, I got a FaceTime from my favorite person in the whole wide world. So I'm talking to my niece, who I call my Nugget, and she lives about 3 hours away from me. So we try to FaceTime each other every day if we can. So she's talking to me while I get this project done.
You know it still hurts a little bit, but not that much. 'Cause if you want somebody else, who am I to judge? I've been thinking about you all the time, but that's alright. I'm starting to get used to it.
While I'm talking to my Nugget and she's telling me about her basketball game and all the goals that she scored, I'm showing her my progress and asking her if she likes it. I just keep using my glue gun to go around the edges and press this shelf paper down. And then, so she wanted to see my progress and be able to see me glue it down, so that's why I moved the camera. I just used the glue gun and the scissors to press down the shelf paper. It was really thin and I kept burning my fingers. But then after I do that, I use this black and white ribbon that you see just to finish it off, so you can't see the trimmed edges and you can't see the extra glue.
It's kinda quiet in my room right now without you, and I couldn't really make you stay, so what to do? I'm just staring at my walls and talking to myself. Now and then I'll try to laugh, but I'll cry a bit as well. I was never any good at being away from you. I met you in the summer, when you left it was cold. Said we loved one another.
Once I had it all finished and I wanted to get it put on the lamp, you can see my oldest daughter coming in and saying hi to our Nugget. I got the lampshade on and the bulb that was in there was too hot and too yellow, so I didn't want it to melt this thin shelf paper, so I went and got an LED bulb that's much cooler and put it in there, and I really love how it turned out. It's not perfect, it's kind of wavy, kind of wrinkled, but it looks really, really cute with this turquoise lamp. So I'm going to show you some before and afters, and I really hope you enjoyed this project, and thanks for being here.
You know it still hurts a little bit, but not that much. 'Cause if you want somebody else, who am I to judge? I met you in the summer, when you left it was cold. Said we loved one another, guess that we were wrong. I met you in the summer, our love was out of control. I've been going crazy without you, I'm so alone. I met you
My oldest daughter picked out these knobs at Hobby Lobby, and I am obsessed with them. I love how they look against the black, and they match the lamp perfectly. So I'm really, really happy with it. I really appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for watching. If you would, please consider subscribing to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're following the Project Lady on social media, and stay tuned for the next project.